I'm trying to find.
This isn't gonna go well.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a boarding fleet from them to see if I can.
It looks like you can't see. I'm looking right now.
Oh, okay, so they changed it for.
Oh, that was quick.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our Let's Play series on Insane Difficulty. Here in Stellaris, I'm Mal, and I'm once again joined by Vanguard, Mickey, and Sabouts. Hello, fellas.
Hello.
Hello.
So this is our Swan Song episode.
We are talking about the end times.
The end times. Yes. And I'll just go ahead and unpause the game, and we can talk as we get murderized by these robots. So, for starters, because we talked a lot before we started recording this particular episode, Vanguard, you ran simulations out like 100 years out with various different settings, and what exactly was the outcome of that?
We got crushed no matter what we do. There is no way to kill 150k fleets that respawn every 2 months. So
And
that's the short version.
Okay, if we hadn't killed one or both of the fallen empires, would we have had any chance?
Yeah, the left fallen empire was just a dummy, but the right fallen empire, he would die trying to protect the galaxy, so he would have used his 250k fleets to kill those 150k fleets that the endgame crisis is having. So we would have a chance, but it's a very long shot.
I mean, that fallen empire on the right-hand side would have at least kept that contingency over there somewhat at bay.
Yeah, exactly, and we could focus on taking out the left side of the galaxy. That's both of your contingencies. He would have cleared my side of the galaxy, and we could focus on the other side. And if we don't have killed the left side fallen empire, the endgame crisis would eventually attack him, and he would awaken, and he would have taken care of the left side contingency. So we only need to kill the mouse spawn, let's say it that way. He would both fallen empires would have killed my spawn and Sabouts spawn. We only need to deal with one. Maybe that way we could have a chance, but I was running the simulation with insane AI controlling our empires, so I'm not sure if we could have done what they did. So that's the longer version.
Okay. So, for those of you that watched the last series, we had sort of a similar experience with the endgame event. Though the last one, we actually kind of had a fighting chance if the other AIs, right, outside of the event would have been smart enough to actually help us. For those of you that watched it, know we actually had an opportunity. But I think it's been pretty clear from things Paradox has said recently that they know very well that it's just not balanced.
Yeah, it's not supposed to be. That's why you have, just like you said, the 0.2, 0.1, 0.3 endgame crisis strength, so you can lower the strength. Putting on 1.0 on insane is just, you want the challenge and you want to get your asses kicked.
A big thing too to think about is the fact that out of all the contingencies spawning, we got 3 of them. I mean, we carried 75% of the load for the endgame crisis.
Which happened to us last time, remember? It spawned right in our backyard. We controlled what, 25% of the galaxy, maybe?
Yeah, if the roles had been switched and 3 contingencies spawned in the AI empires and we only took 1, I think we definitely would have had a much more significant chance, because then we're only fighting 2 150k fleets and we're only putting up with 1 contingency. But right now we can't even fight, because what happened is each of us got a contingency, but it's affecting all of us because the way they're bleeding over.
Right.
So instantly, the very first thing that happened is I lost all of my worlds that were my primary producers for minerals and energy, because the contingency that spawned first on me spawned right next to my capital world and next to my most advanced planets. So I was instantly had pretty much the rug ripped right out from underneath me in terms of needing the economy that I would need to fight a scale, a war of this scale. And then for you, Mal, then you got hit with a contingency. So that started slowing you down. And then we had the one over there right next to I mean, my contingency grew up enough to start eating into poor Vanguard there, and then we've got the one down there that took some planets, but yeah.
Oh, it was a huge hit. That in-game event, I mean, you lose 40% across the board in terms of production. So your economy gets pretty much tanked, and then
Our space hive is lost.
Vanguard, you were saying it's a 3-month cycle. Every 3 months they regenerate
Yeah,
150,000.
two to 3 months, something like that. It's not very precise, but it's close to that.
Crazy sauce.
Yeah.
Mickey, you were saying you thought that there was something though tactically that we might have done differently.
I mean, I'm not saying we would have won, but if you look at the contingency in the coalition on the right-hand side, they're doing a pretty good job in their territory of keeping it down, keep it under control. If you look at the contingency on our right side, that's against their territory. Again, they're doing a good job of slowing their rate. They're not doing as good a job. It's still out of control, but they're doing a much better job than we are of slowing it down. Whereas in the centre, where we haven't been focusing at all, it is just spread uncontrollable like wildfire. I think what we should have done, and we didn't do this because at the time when it triggered, we were all on the far left and we had to act quickly, was we need to let go of the outer edges.
A war breaks out.
The contingency on the left of our regions and the contingency on the right of our regions, we had to let go of that entire territory. We had to hope that they would spread into the coalition's territory and into the Enlightened Kingdom's territory, and that they would take the brunt of those coalitions, and we would focus on the center one, doing whatever we could. We would still fail, but we would have kept our key regions for longer.
Enemy war drones invading.
Yeah, I
Oh,
could see that
I see what
actually
you're
working
saying.
to an extent, simply because that center contingency that spawned, I mean, that did me in. I as soon as that contingency started spreading and I lost all of those, I mean, that's where all my minerals were, all my energy was there, all my research, all my space stations that were set up to build. I mean, I had to re-gear everything. It was a mess. I wonder if we weren't at war with the, what was it, the Mythfell, right? If
Yeah.
we weren't at war with them and we were just hanging out on our respective stations and the contingency spawned in there, if we could have flew in and at least contained it long enough. But I don't know, it's hard to say too, because the other two contingencies spawned up pretty quickly. So even if we were able to contain the one in the center long enough that we could, keep destroying the 150k fleets and try to retool ourselves, as soon as those ones spawned on the outside, they pretty much close us off.
Yeah.
I mean, even the AI Empire is starting to now fall too.
Yeah, that's
The
what's happening.
contingencies.
3 to 4 months from now. So, and remember, they have 300k fleets. Even them, they will just get exhausted.
Yeah, they've got
That's-
a 380 or 358,000.
Yeah.
Oh man, that is just crazy.
Yeah, but fighting 150k after 150k fleets, they just got crushed, just like we did trying to defend. As I said, the only thing that could stop them was the Fallen Empires, because their fleet is also procedure. It's not tied to the economy at all.
Vanguard, you might know this. Does the fleet firepower take into account health and armor?
No, it's just damage.
So the contingency are technically stronger than the firepower that they actually have, because they have more armor and more health than a normal fleet, right?
Yes, you can see it that way. I mean, last time we were fighting the Unbeaten, and since the Unbeaten fleets were very poorly fitted, we could do a hard counter, and the battle power was actually way less than it showed. Here, since their fleets are way better equipped, let's say like that, it's just way more than it looks. But this Insane AI also has a lot of bonus, so that's why their fleet power is 300k. It's not 300k, it's 300k because they have three times the firepower that we do.
Yeah, if we had lowered the difficulty down to a more, like, say we maintained insane difficulty, but we lowered the endgame crisis down to a more reasonable area, it would be more like 100k fleet guarding the machine world and 50k fleets flying around.
Yeah, if
Right.
you want to make it balanced, I'm just looking at the numbers right now. If you mouse over one of their ships in one of their fleets, you're going to see that they have 310% bonus damage and 300% hull and shield hit points. So the exact number is 0.33. Did that make sense to you guys?
Yeah.
Because it would reduce that by 1/3, so it would be exactly the same power as a player fleet has. That's
Yes.
playing on Insane, of course.
Well,
And
and
it makes sense. Insane is 3 times stronger than the player fleet is, so that's why
So,
it's
but
so
this is
powerful.
the second time where I feel like we've made a lot of really. I mean, arguably, we could have made some different decisions along the way with Mickey's point to Vanguard's point.
Yeah.
But I still think overall we played pretty well. I mean, if you look at the amount of territory before the in-game event that we had, it was pretty significant. We pretty much had the whole, basically, upper part of the galactic map.
I actually think that was kind of the issue. One of the reasons why we had so much territory is because we were so aggressively expanding. Of course, that is the point if we're going to play something like this, that it's going to be fun. We're not just going to sit where we start and consolidate our power and do nothing. But one of the reasons why we were so weak is because we had so much power. If we had less territory, we'd only be dealing with one contingency. The other contingency will be mixed up and tied into the Fallen Emperor on the right. Sure, the Fallen Emperor on the left was kind of a joke, but that contingency would be dealing with the Mythville Republic, which would get annihilated, sure, but we wouldn't have to deal with it. We'd just be dealing with the center contingency. So part of the reason why we got so completely wiped was because we had so much territory.
I mean, it's definitely a double-edged sword. It's tough because you're definitely correct. If we had built maybe say more tall empires, which Stellaris doesn't necessarily allow you to do as much, although
It doesn't favor that I wish it did, like with habitats and with
habitats
ring
are
worlds. You
supposed
can
to
kind of
help,
argue
but-
that it does, but it still doesn't.
But the problem is that those techs don't come early enough in the game to make them feasible for a tall empire.
Exactly.
If we went tall, we would never be able to stage a large enough fleet to defend ourselves from, say, the Doreen Enlightened Kingdom right now, which has just grown ridiculously large. I mean, we can't grow tall enough that we could, put a defense on. Anybody get this?
Yeah, the Cybrex, for several 100,000 years, we've remained hidden. Okay, however, we've been monitoring the present situation with the machine intelligence and can no longer remain impatient observers. To protect the sapient beings of the galaxy, we are commencing active military operations. Do not be alarmed by our passage of our fleets. You will not be harmed. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
Let's see how that develops.
What is this?
What happens with this, Bruno? You ran the simulation.
It's just like the Unbeaten. It's a counter for what we're facing off, but just like the other 2 Unbeatens on the last season, they will not be able to control the galaxy in time. That's why I said if we didn't kill the Fallen Empire, we would have a chance. We need more time. That's the way to see this.
Wow, I see where the Cybrex. They have
Structure.
quite the setup, though.
Where are they
Yeah.
at?
They're hiding off to the side there. Cybrex Prime, or Cybrex Beta, I mean.
Our construction vessel is under attack.
Oh, I see.
Do you
Okay.
see them?
Yeah.
Nest structure.
They're about as well set up.
Oh, did the game just add a system on top of what
Yes.
we... Oh, that's
Yeah,
cool. That's
they
cool
were
feature.
they were hidden. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's a safeguard, so the endgame crisis does not steamroll over you. But as I said, it's too late.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna say
I wouldn't
that
call it a safeguard.
that safeguard would have had to trigger a
Yeah.
little sooner, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's because the endgame crisis is so strong because we're playing on Insane that we did not hold them for long enough. It's as I said, the endgame crisis is triggered. It's not the game does not care how well you're doing. It's a trigger thing. So a few months or a few years after the starting crisis happens, the counter crisis always happen, just like the Unbeaten.
Well,
Actually, but it's too late. How do we recover from this? I mean,
yeah, I like
don't
the
see it
fact.
happening.
I like the fact that they have those in there, though.
Well,
it's kind
and
of like
it's clearly an effort too, right,
Yeah.
to address the issue because they know it's an issue.
Exactly, but it's our fault. I mean, as I said, we're playing on Insane, so we should have. Remember when we were set up in the game that we discussed this, that we should move the slider down to keep it at 1x, not put it on 3 times, 5 times, because it would be too strong. It was our fault. We were not sure that the Insane was taking into account that 1x. If we do, based on our experience the last time, we would have taken that slider a little bit down. I mean, maybe 0.7 or 0.5. Then we would have been able to manage this, and we only have to deal with the other alliance. Our mistake was that. I mean, we should have taken that slider a little bit down.
That's a good segue then, because let's talk about. I mean, obviously this series, unfortunately we didn't win, and we're going to try again, people. But we've been kind of brainstorming, and we want everyone from the various communities to give us your feedback. So here's kind of what we're thinking. We'll play again on Insane AI. I'm not sure what empires we're going to do. I don't know if we're going to be robots or not. We haven't figured that out. If you've got suggestions, please include those. And we're thinking about, what did we say, guys? That we would put that on like 0.5 or 0.3 for the...
Yeah, we're thinking 0.5, 0.3, and see if that makes a big difference on the endgame crisis spawning in. And it's not so much that we don't it's not that we don't want to have an endgame crisis. It's just...
We don't want it to end the game.
Yeah. Right.
It just gets to a point, it's like, we want to... I want an endgame crisis that's challenging. And I want to be able to tackle the problem, but I don't want an endgame crisis that spawns in and instantly I look at it and I'm like, yeah, there's no hope at all.
Well,
like, I guess...
And jump drives can go pound sand. Jump drives can pound sand. I don't want them. Who's with me? Who's with me?
Raise your hands.
Raise your left hands if you're with me. No jump drives.
You can't raise both your left hands. That's not fair. It's cheating.
I think it's perfectly fine. I get 2 votes with my left hands. No, I mean, there is a mod, right, for no jump drives ever. I think there is. So it doesn't matter if you've got a maniacal researcher or not. Like, they never show up, which I'm fine with if you guys are. As a matter of fact, mods in general, I think that's something else we want people to tell us. Like, what do they think would be interesting, right?
Well, I know I want their ships. Obviously not going to be anywhere as good, but I want geometric shapes.
Well,
honestly, how hard must it be to make them? It's a square and a triangle. You couldn't make a simpler polygon.
I think that hopefully the mods, if mods be down, we'll have a couple different types of ships and stuff. I mean, we can download all sorts of mods, really, as long as all of us have the same mods. I don't see, and we make sure they're multiplayer compatible.
Right.
I don't see an issue.
Well, but I think it'd be cool to hear people's suggestions too, though.
Yeah, me too. I think that's the way to go.
So we're thinking a couple weeks we'll give it another go. So do we want to create another video, like an announcement video, or we just want people to put all their feedback on this one? Probably easier just put it on this one, right?
This one, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's more fair because people that follow the entire series, they have a a larger saying, exactly.
Yeah, that's a good point, and they should.
It will avoid every single troll that just want to screw with us, because people that follow the entire series, they want to see us doing a good series. That's the way I see it.
Yeah, agreed. All right, so closing thoughts. Let's go around the table. Mickey, what are your thoughts? You're somewhat new to Stellaris, which, by the way, we kind of we talk about you behind your back all the time. So I thought one of the things we would share with you is that we thought that you played very well, especially considering insane difficulty for somebody that was so new to Stellaris. So, and we've all enjoyed having you join the group. So what are your closing thoughts about Stellaris? Yeah.
My closing thoughts are that it has taken me about 10 minutes to sneak this 10k fleet through 2 enemy nations, through 2 enemy regions, and I'm not stopping till I rejoin the fleet. Is there a fleet to rejoin? There is no fleet to rejoin. I came on this way and there's no fleet to rejoin.
Ship.
I have a science... No, it's a construction ship also. Where's your construction ship, Sabouts?
Mine is in Orichi. I've got those 2 systems by yours. Oh, you're like trapped.
Yeah. Well, no, I have jump drives. I can.
I'm feeling like Battlestar Galactica and the Silent
Oh, man.
Hey, at least the Cybrex is doing a decent cleanup job.
Alright, fine. I'm going to join the Cybrex then.
There you go. Yeah, go get in a fight. Go crush face. Oh, man. But what have you enjoyed? You have enjoyed your stab at Stellaris here?
Oh
Mickey?
yeah, absolutely. It's a little bit difficult to keep up with you guys. I am not macroing as well. Or not macroing is kind of the wrong term. But things like doing edicts, centralizing energy, or what the hell's there you go, materials or minerals in single planets, so the edicts are more effective and adjacency bonus is more effective. I'm not really doing that because I can't really get a handle on it, on top of keeping track of everything else. But you know, as you said, trying to keep up.
You know, I mean, it took me two to three really solid playthroughs before I felt like I was a lot better at doing that. Because when you play the first time, you don't really know what's coming up or what to expect. So it's hard to take advantage of adjacency bonuses if you don't know you're going to be getting those adjacency bonuses later in the game and such. So I can see how, I struggled with that like the first few times I played.
It took me a long time to figure out what agencies did towards each other. I mean, the silo, how it works, the capital, how it works.
Yeah,
but
where
it's
worth building and where things aren't worth building is a big part of it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm still not good at doing it. I'm going to say that.
Yeah, but you're a badass shipbuilder, buddy. You're a badass shipbuilder.
Yeah.
I played a lot
master
of people
builder.
online, so
what are your
Thanks,
what are your final thoughts, Vanguard, about just Stellaris in general and then this LP?
Stellaris in general, I think Stellaris, talking about Paradox now, they are a great company. They're just trying to make the game great, and a 4X game, that's a very hard work. I mean, I don't know a game that is harder to balance than a 4X game. Not even MMOs are harder to balance than this is. So it takes time. That's my take on it. And every time we fail, just like we did, we learn a new thing that lets the next gameplay be more awesome. I mean, right now we know how the slider works. We know how strong the endgame crisis is, so we can work around it. They put the option there. It's our fault that we are not using it correctly because we didn't know how the game works. That's the bad thing about having a press account. You have to play the game blind. That's why it's a let's play, not a walkthrough. But every time we do that, we learn new things that gives us a better experience next time. Just like we are played way better this time than we did the last time. I mean, goddamn, 10 episodes ago we defeated a fleet that was 10 times stronger than us. And it was not a lucky thing. We know that the Fallen Empire would help us because it was a protector of the galaxy. So when you start to learn how the game mechanics work, the game is a lot of fun. Even though it seems unbalanced, actually it's not. It's us that are playing it on a difficulty that it was made to be unbeatable, and we are using the game crisis on an unbeatable difficulty. So the option is there. Don't take it. Don't take what we are being through as the game is this way. We want the challenge. That's why it's so hard.
We're gluttons for punishment. We're like, please beat us on the head, please.
But it's just like Dark Souls. When you play on a very hard difficulty is when you get to be a better player. I mean, I know how to make the ships work. It's because I have to. Because if I don't build the best possible ship, the game just is unbeatable, +1. So we have to learn how to manage our colonies, manage our fleets, manage everything. And we always need to be improving, because if we don't, we're just going to be crushed time and time again. We will be insane one day. It's just a matter of time. We are going to figure out how to do this.
El Capitan Sabouts, your final thoughts for the peoples?
Well, I love Stellaris. I have a lot of fun with it. Shout out to PDXCon 2018. I'll be there again. That's the plan. Hopefully I'll drag Mal along with me this time. Tried last time.
I am planning to go. Is anyone else planning to go besides Sabouts and I? Are you guys going?
I wish I could.
Transatlantic?
Yeah, that's the
I was gonna say, it's really close for you.
Yeah, for you, Mickey, it's
I'll just pop on a bus. I'll be there in 10
hop on
minutes.
a train.
Yeah,
get on a train.
Swim.
swim.
But yeah, I really enjoy Stellaris. I have a lot of fun playing it. I mean, I like challenges. Obviously, that's the whole kind of thing about my channel is I like playing harder difficulty settings and such, and I think that ultimately we do a really good job. I hear a lot of people, and people tell me in the comments or tell me in the Discord and everything that, you know, I can't believe you guys are doing insane difficulty. I tried it and I just got rolled over. Or, you know, I'll have people who say that they got together with a group of friends and they just got steamrolled. And I'm not saying we're like professionals at the game, but we're pretty
very
well
far from that.
yeah, we're very far from that, as you can see, as we slowly get eaten by the contingency. But I like playing harder difficulties. I think we do a really good job at playing them. I think we put up a good show.
A good show.
That's the goal at all. I mean, we have to do the series be fun to watch, and I think we accomplished that on this one.
That's the most important thing to me, is that it's enjoyable. I mean, yeah, sure, maybe people want to watch us win, and that's fine. If that's really what you want, I mean, we could put it to normal difficulty and just steamroll the AI. And
yeah,
but where is the fun in that? I mean, yeah,
we wouldn't have any fun.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you guys would be bored watching it. Honestly, you think it'd be fun to watch us do it, but I promise you it wouldn't, and it wouldn't even be fun for us to play, because it would just be it'd be back-to-back episodes of us being like, all right, we're gonna build up and go to war. Okay, we're at war. We ate this empire. All right, next episode we're gonna go to war. All right, we're at war. I mean, it's all it would be for like 15 episodes straight.
It'd be a pretty short one though, because with war demands, we'd eat them quickly. Yeah.
So,
guys, I mean, what drives do the contingency have? Engines?
Jump drives. Side jump drives.
Yeah, side jump.
Side jump drives.
Yeah, I'm pretty much sure if you click on a transport ship, you can see the setup.
That's it. I'm sending my 10k fleet. They've got nothing else to do, so they're running out of territory. Yeah, they move so weirdly across the map. At least you guys follow the trade routes, even though you got jump drives. You still just pass through them really quickly. But they just drift across the galaxy without touching the nodes.
Try to find one of the fleets.
Well, they actually have a really long warp cooldown.
Yeah. If you click on the transport ships of a fallen empire, you can see the setup they use. I'm trying to find.
This isn't going to go well.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a boarding fleet from them to see if I can.
It looks like you can't see. I'm looking right now.
Oh, okay, so they changed it for.
Oh, that was quick.
Game Crisis.
Mickey, by the time I clicked on the system to watch the fight, you were gone.
That was 10 seconds. I don't think a single volley made it through from their point defense.
Oh man, this is just rough.
Yeah.
So, what else you got for us, Mr. Sabouts?
Well, I think we'll be back. We're going to be back. We always come back. We'll do a nice, good modded one. We've been saying that for a while, and people have been, sending me death threats because we haven't done it. So we need to get a really good modded Stellaris playthrough in, and then you guys know we'll definitely be back when it comes time for the next big update for Stellaris, because we've done every major update.
We have.
Every major DLC or whatever they release. We've done every single one.
So I too really, really love Stellaris, and yeah, it's not a perfect game, but to Vanguard's point, they're constantly working on it, right? You've got it seems just like a really dedicated dev team that they are open to feedback. They solicit a lot of feedback. You could almost argue that they over communicate what they're doing, which leaves them open to criticism. They're very transparent in how they operate, and that's becoming an increasingly rare thing.
That's very true.
So beyond the fact that it's a good game, I think Paradox is a good company. And just as a reminder for everyone, none of us received any kind of sponsorship to play Stellaris. We are playing it because we really, really enjoy it. So the next series for us will probably be just a couple weeks out. We'll do another one, and again, we're looking to make it a modded series. So please give us your suggestions about mods. Please give us your suggestions about kind of a theme. Like this time we were robots. What do you think we ought to be next time? And if you've got some suggestions on what we should be, how should we build said empires, and how should we play it? Like if you think it would be cool for us all to be some kind of like, I don't know, weird-looking organic guys that are
organic ships with grown 2 left arms on the side.
Something like that. Something like that. I saw a mod for a portrait. Did you guys see this? It's one of the new robotic ones, but the guy modified it so that there's like in the head that's like an energy bowl. There's actually goldfish.
I've seen that. Yeah.
I would totally be willing to be part of a goldfish alliance. Yeah. I think we should be I think it should be the mighty goldfish.
The mighty goldfish.
I don't know. That was something I was thinking about. Anyway, folks, we hope that you enjoyed this series, and if you did, consider giving it 2 left-handed likes up. And we look forward to what you have to tell us. Thanks so much for watching. Till next time, I'm Mal for Vanguard, Mickey, and Sabouts, and we will see you later.
Bye, guys. Bye.
Right.
Oh man, that was rough.
Good.
They are eating their way through the galaxy
I
so
know.
quick. So
At the
quick.
end of the episode, I just destroyed a 15k outpost with other 2 3.3k outposts using a 9k fleet.
Ah.
Just to prove the point.
Oh yeah, I see you doing it.